Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our discussion today. We are exploring a very important question. Should practical life skills, such as cooking and financial management, be a mandatory part of the school curriculum? With us to debate this are David, a teacher who strongly supports making these skills compulsory, and Maria, a school administrator who has some concerns about this approach. We look forward to a thoughtful and respectful exchange of ideas. Let's begin.
Thank you, Sarah. I firmly believe that practical life skills are absolutely essential for our students' future independence and overall well-being. These are not just optional extras, they are fundamental. Think about it. Skills like preparing a simple, healthy meal, understanding how to create and stick to a budget, or knowing the basics of paying taxes are crucial for adult life. Many young people leave school without these basic abilities. Schools have a profound responsibility to prepare students for all aspects of life, not just for academic success or their future professional careers. We need to equip them for the everyday realities they will face. Making these skills a mandatory part of the curriculum ensures that every student, regardless of their family background or home environment, receives this vital education. It creates a level playing field. Furthermore, these practical skills don't detract from academic learning. They actually complement it. They provide a real-world context for subjects like math and science, making learning more relevant and engaging.
Thank you, Sarah and David. I agree that practical life skills are undeniably valuable. No one would argue against their importance for young people transitioning into adulthood. However, the proposal to make them a mandatory part of an already packed school curriculum presents some very significant challenges. We need to be realistic about what schools can achieve. Our current curriculum is already extremely full. Teachers are working hard to cover core academic subjects like mathematics, science, languages, and humanities. These subjects are essential for higher education and many career paths. Adding more mandatory subjects could dilute the focus on these core areas. It might also mean that schools lack the necessary resources. For example, enough trained teachers or specialized facilities like kitchens to teach these new skills effectively to every single student. Moreover, many life skills are traditionally, and perhaps most appropriately, taught by families and through experiences within the community. There are also valid concerns about how we would standardize the teaching and assessment of such diverse, hands-on skills across different schools.
David, you argue these skills are essential. Why is it the school's job to teach something like financial management, for example? Couldn't parents or online resources cover this effectively?
That's a fair question, Sarah. While parents and online resources can play a role, we cannot assume that all students have equal access to these. Many students come from backgrounds where these skills aren't or can't be taught at home. Basic financial literacy, such as understanding budgeting, the importance of saving, and the risks of debt, when taught systematically in school, can prevent serious financial problems for young adults later in life. It's about empowerment. Similarly, teaching basic cooking skills can lead to healthier eating habits, reduce reliance on expensive and often unhealthy processed foods, and save individuals a lot of money in the long run. Schools provide a structured, supportive, and equitable environment where all students can learn these fundamental basics.
I understand David's points about equity, and they are valid concerns. However, many elements of financial management, like calculating interest or understanding percentages, are already touched upon in subjects like mathematics. Perhaps we can strengthen that existing link. When we talk about practical cooking classes for every student, the logistical challenges are immense. Implementing this would require significant investment in kitchen facilities and specialized teaching staff, which many schools simply do not have the budget for. And while schools can certainly support, I still believe parents do have a primary responsibility in imparting many of these life skills. The school's role could be to supplement this, not to entirely replace it.
Regarding financial literacy, it's about more than just mathematical calculations. It's about understanding financial concepts, developing responsible habits, and making informed decisions. This requires a dedicated focus. As for cooking, schools could begin with foundational knowledge about nutrition and meal planning, which doesn't require extensive kitchens. Simple, no-bake recipes or partnerships with community centers for practical sessions could also be explored. The core knowledge and awareness are key.
Maria, you mentioned the significant issue of curriculum overload. What are the specific risks you foresee if these life skills become mandatory? And are there alternative ways for students to learn them?
The risks are quite serious, Sarah. We could see increased teacher burnout and less time for deep learning in core academic subjects, potentially impacting students' future paths. Adding more mandatory subjects might also mean other valuable elective options, like arts or music, are squeezed out, reducing student choice and increasing stress. As for alternatives, schools could offer these skills as elective courses. This allows interested students to participate. After-school clubs or workshops are also good options to deliver this knowledge without overburdening everyone.
Maria's concerns are understandable. However, life skills can often be integrated into existing subjects. Budgeting can be taught in mathematics, nutrition and biology, and consumer rights and social studies. The problem with voluntary options is that they often miss students who need these skills most, those without home support. Mandatory inclusion ensures everyone benefits, promoting equity. This isn't just about adding more. It's about reevaluating priorities. We can find creative ways to include these skills, perhaps by condensing some current content to make space for what is truly essential for life.
Integration sounds like a good compromise in theory, David. However, it can often become superficial if it's not implemented very carefully and with adequate teacher training. Subject teachers may not feel equipped or have the time to effectively teach these applied life skills within their existing curriculum. Furthermore, creating standardized methods for teaching and assessing such integrated skills across different subjects and schools would be an incredibly complex undertaking. How do we ensure consistency and quality?
To conclude, practical life skills like managing money and cooking are not luxuries, but necessities for an independent adulthood. These skills are fundamental for navigating the modern world effectively. The long-term benefits include better financial health and overall well-being for individuals, leading to a more competent society. These are tangible advantages we cannot ignore. Schools have a duty to prepare students for all aspects of life. Making these skills mandatory ensures every student, regardless of background, receives this vital foundation. This is about fairness and opportunity. We need a curriculum that balances academic knowledge with practical wisdom, preparing students for life's realities. It's an essential investment in their future and the future of our communities.
I agree with David on the importance of practical life skills. They are undeniably crucial for young people. My concerns are about making them mandatory within an already full system. We must realistically consider curriculum space, the need for adequate resources like trained teachers and facilities, and the potential impact on core academic subjects. These are significant practical hurdles. A blanket mandatory policy might not be the most effective solution for every school or student. Instead, a blended approach seems more promising. This could involve some careful integration into existing subjects. This could be combined with strong elective options and community partnerships. We need a flexible, well-thought-out strategy that acknowledges the value of these skills without overwhelming our education system. Careful consideration is key.
Thank you, David and Maria, for your insightful contributions to this important debate. You've clearly presented compelling arguments on both sides. We've heard about the undeniable need for practical life skills for students' futures, alongside the significant challenges of making these skills a mandatory part of an already busy school day. This discussion certainly encourages us to reflect on the evolving purpose of education. Thank you for joining us.